Over the past month, corn and soybean bases strengthened across much of the eastern corn belt, a surprise given the historical pattern typically pointing towards basis weakening heading into June. Corn basis to July futures strengthened in 38 of the 40 tracked crop reporting districts, while soybean basis held steady or improved across every tracked district. Corn basis movement ranged from a 5-cent decrease to a 21-cent increase per bushel between the third week of May and the third week of June. Soybean basis movement ranged from no change to a 28-cent increase. Today we'll be discussing where corn and soybean basis has changed the most across the eastern corn belt, how current levels compared to historical averages, and what these trends could mean headed into July. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. The greatest corn basis to July futures strengthening occurred in east central Ohio, where basis rose to a positive 13 cents per bushel above July futures, a level not seen in the district at this point in the season since the 2012-2013 crop year. On the other end of the spectrum, northwest Iowa crop basis sits at negative 29 cents per bushel, 37 cents below the 3-year historical average. The defining feature of the current basis map is the increasing basis from west to east. In Ohio, corn basis is running well above the 3-year historical average across every tracked district. Northeast Ohio is the most extreme example. Basis in the district is currently even with July futures and 27 cents above the historical average for this time of year. Indiana is broadly above the historical averages as well, with many districts carrying positive or near even corn basis. In Iowa, the picture is reversed. Corn basis is negative across the state, with most districts priced 20 to 30 cents below the July futures and sitting 20 to 37 cents below the historical average. State-level ethanol plant basis reinforces the pattern. Ohio corn ethanol bids are running well above the historical average, while Iowa ethanol bids are well below. Turning to soybeans, basis held steady or strengthened across all tracked districts. The largest moves come in Iowa, where most districts gain more than 20 cents per bushel. Strengthening of Iowa basis has pushed the levels above the 2-year averages in many districts for the first time this marketing year. However, basis across the state remain the lowest in the region. For example, in central Iowa, the soybean basis to July futures is negative 41 cents per bushel, but 9 cents above the historical average. In Indiana, the West Central District offers a stark contrast. Basis is just 2 cents below July futures and well above the historical average. Michigan has the strongest soybean basis relative to historical averages in the region. Southeast and West Central Michigan are both running 30 cents or more above their 2-year averages. Basis in these districts remain negative in absolute terms, around 10 to 20 cents per bushel below July futures. Along the Ohio River, the average soybean basis is positive 19 cents per bushel, 8 cents above the 2-year historical average. So what does all of this mean going into July? Historical trends relative to September corn and August soybean futures are encouraging. For corn, the historical patterns suggest continued strengthening across most tracked districts into mid-July. East Central Ohio, already at its highest level since 2012 and 2013, has historically seen some of the largest gains over this stretch. Michigan is the main exception, where most districts show a flat to slightly negative historical trend. For soybeans, the outlook is similarly positive across most of the region. Michigan, which already has the strongest basis market relative to the historical averages, has historically seen some of the largest gains into mid-July. However, with July futures approaching expiration in the coming weeks, basis tends to be more volatile, and monthly trends can match significant week-to-week swings. Looking ahead to next week, basis relative to July futures is likely to soften in some markets as the contracts approach expiration. Staying on top of local conditions as we move through July will be important. You can read more about the recent basis movement in the June crop basis update published on the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture website. And if you want to explore basis levels specific to your area, check out the Purdue crop basis tool. You'll find links to both in the description below. Thank you for watching Purdue Commercial AgBriefs. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more research-based insights, and we'll see you next time.